Welcome back to our class. We want to continue from where we stopped in the other video. So consider this example. We want to show that this is equal to this using calculus of residue method. Now, what do we do? Solution, we turn this 0 to infinity. We'll consider this, we consider our I to be, you turn S to Z is raised to power 4. Remember, we are integrating it in this upper half plane. That is when we do that. That is when we are integrating in this, in the upper half plane here. So from this raise we have minus R to R. This is equation of a, if we make use of equation of a line, this one will become f of s ds, because z will be equal to r minus r and z is equal to r. So from that place, plus integral the second one here, c bigger, this will be f of z dz. By the theorem I proved, this will be 0, which after I proved it, but after I've used the theorem, it simply means I have taken r to be infinity. So I'll take r to be infinity 2 here, minus infinity to infinity, f of x, this is our f of s ds. So as you can see, this is what is given to us, but this is what we have, minus infinity to infinity. But it is this one that is still leading to this. Now let us now treat this using Cauchy residues theorem. Let us first take note that our f of z is 1 over z raised to power 4. So we need to know our singular point. And how do we do that? This, we say that z plus 1 is equal to 0. Z raised to power 4 is equal to minus 1. And remember, this minus 1 is same thing as exponential pi I. Therefore, our z will be equal to exponential, if you make this, if you take the 4 to the other side, we have pi I over 4. Not only this, because we have power of 4 here, that means there should be 4 roots. So the next one will have been 3 pi I over 4. So this is 1, it will be in odd form. The next one will have been 5 pi I over 4, 7 pi I over 4. So we cannot write that the singular points are this, this, and this. But only these first two will lie in the upper half plane. So the trick is that these first two, 1 over 4, 3 over 4, they are both less than this power of 4. These are greater. But it doesn't mean no, it's a thing you can do yourself. So cos pi I over 4, you should know it. Exponential pi I over 4 is the same thing as cos pi over 4 plus I sin pi over 4. So that means the x-axis is positive, y-axis is positive. So it should be on top. But if you consider this one, you will see that they will not be in the upper half plane. But the trick, in order not to waste your time, is 1 and 3. They are both less than 4. 5 and 7 are more than 4. So only these two lie in the upper half plane. So in that case, we find the residue at both points. So it will be residue at Z1. Let me put this as Z1 and let me put this as Z2. So that will be limit of Z tends to 1, residue. Limit of Z tends to 1, Z minus Z1 times f of z. This is our f of z, 1 over 1 plus z raised to power 4. Now, if you turn z to be z1, z1 minus z1 is 0. And don't forget that we got this z1 from this equation, from this function. So if you put it there too, it will be 0. So you don't need to bother yourself. What you just do is you use L'Hospital rule there. You differentiate z, that will be 1. This is constant, it will be 0. You differentiate these two, that will be 4 4z cube. I can now put the value there. This is z cube. This is our z1. I'll put it there. Z cube will now be 3 pi I over 4. Normally z is exponential pi over 4, but because of this 3, it will be equal to this, which I can simply write as 1 over 4 exponential minus 3 pi I over 4. Now, what does this one mean? It means it is this one, that is cos this minus I sine this. And from our calculator, we get cos 3 pi over 4 to be this, and sine 3 pi over 4 to be that. Now, we consider the second one. So, we find residue at Z2. Residue at Z2 will follow the same pattern. That will be Z minus Z2 times 1 over Z4. The same way, you take limit by L'Hospital rule. So this will be 1 over 4z cube. It's just the same thing. But now, our Z2 is 3 pi. But because of this 3 here, this is it should be 9 now. 3 times 3, 9 pi I over 4. Which will also become, if you follow the same pattern, this is 1 over 4 exponential minus 9 pi I over 4. So we follow the same pattern as this. And finally there, we should have, so it will give me this, or follow the same thing. This is just the work of calculator. And we follow the same pattern. So I have found the residues of the two functions. So from that place, I can say that this integral is, if you use residues theorem, 2 pi I times sum of the residue. So these are the residues. So 1 over 4 is common to them. Let me bring them out. The first one, there is it. Let me write it out. So plus the second one, this is the second one, plus this one, which is it. From this way, you observe that this cancels this. So all you have left is 2 pi I times 1 over 4 times this one. This one is cancelled. What we have left is this, minus 1 root 2 over 2 minus 1 root 2 over 2. That is minus root 2. So some things will cancel. 2 cancels. So our answer there is, don't forget, I times I is I square. And I square is minus 1. It will cancel this minus. So what we have there is pi over root 2 over 2. And don't forget that the f of z is z is same thing as this. So we can now conclude that therefore integral minus infinity to infinity ds over 1 plus s power 4 is equal to pi root 2 over 2. And don't forget, what we are giving is 0 to infinity. By what I gave you the other time, this is an even function. So it's same thing as 2 into 0 to infinity ds over this pi root 2 over 2. So if you make it the formula, these two will leave. It will make this place to be 4. So that is what we are asked to prove. Let's consider another important case. Our third case is this. When we are given this type of, it is similar to the second case. But here now we are multiplying cos or sine to that f of x. And how do you do that? You need to turn s to z as usual. We integrate in the upper half plane, just like the second one. So the only thing we need to know is that cos x is same thing as the exponential IAX. So similarly, sin z and sin AS is same thing as that is imaginary part of exponential IAS. In fact, I can put minus there. for this course, I can decide to put minus, is still the same thing. That is, I can decide to say that re exponential minus IAS. That is for this one. So it will still give me the same thing. Now, because of this case, we need to consider a certain theorem. We call the theorem Jordan's lemma. So we have the theorem here. Suppose that absolute value of f of z is this, where m and n are constant and f of z is rational. If CR is a semicircular contour, that is the upper half plane, and z is equal to this in this, then this tends to 0 as arc tends to infinity. So this theorem is called Jordan's lemma. Now let's prove it. C big R f of z exponential inz dz. We know that if you apply this, z is equal to r exponential I theta, then if you differentiate, the z will be ri exponential I theta d theta. So we have said in the theorem that 0 is less than theta is less than pi. Now let's substitute everything there. This is f of z. This is our z, r exponential I theta, exponential I n z. This is our z, r exponential I theta dz. These are dz here, I r exponential I theta d theta. Now, from this list, we can proceed as say 0 to pi f of r exponential I theta exponential I n r. This exponential I theta is same thing as cos theta plus I sin theta, I r exponential I theta d theta. Let us bring this constant out, I r into this. Now remember, if you expand, this I will leave. What you are going to have is I n r cos theta dot exponential. If you expand this one, it will be minus I square is minus I n r sin theta. So there is an exponential here d theta. So what we are saying is that CR f of z exponential inz dz is equal to this. So we cannot take the absolute value of both sides. Why are we taking the absolute value? Because of what we have here. So this will be less than or equal to, bringing the absolute value inside. Without stressing yourself, absolute value of r is r, absolute value of I is 1. So we have r here, 0 to pi. We have absolute value of f of r exponential I theta. And for this is 1. Exponential I, the rest of this, let's say it is a variable. So it will go because of the absolute value. This one too will go. Exponential I theta, exponential I this will go because of the absolute value. So what we are going to have left is just exponential minus nr sin theta d theta. The rest will leave. But don't forget that this absolute value f of z is given here. So in that case, this will still be less than or equal to. So this is m over r raised to power n exponential minus nr sin theta d theta. So this is equal to m over r raised to power n minus 1. I brought the m out. This r, when it comes down, it becomes minus 1 here. 0 to pi exponential minus nr sin theta d theta. Now, this is what we have. We'll continue from another place here. Remember, this function in a certain theory of integral, it says that if you have a minus f of 2 pi minus x is same thing as f of x, the integral, if they are equal, then we can, if this happens, we can interchange this integral, and it happens to sine theta. So in this case, we can say that this thing is same thing as this. What we are saying here is that this pi, because this thing happened to sine theta, this is exponential, this is f of 2a. Our a is the pi here. I can turn this thing to pi over 2, and if I turn it to pi over 2, I have to put 2 here too. So I have divided by 2, I have to multiply by 2. It's possible when we have this case in integration. This is minus n r sine theta d theta. So let's recall this, that sine theta is greater than that should be over pi. That is when you have 0 is less than or equal to pi is less than or equal to pi over 2, and we have this. I can apply it here so that this thing will be less than or equal to 2m over r raised to power this integral 0 to pi over 2 exponential minus nr. This sine theta will be written as 2 theta over pi d theta. So it's now easy for us to integrate. When I integrate it, I will have pi over 2, there is minus here, pi over 2 nr into integral exponential minus 2 nr theta over pi 0 to pi over 2. If you put pi over 2 here, pi over 2, pi cancels pi, this cancels this. So what you are going to have is minus 2, the 2 will cancel each other. That should be m pi divided by r, there's n here, this is r raised to power n, into, when we put theta to be pi over 2, all you have left is minus 2, that is minus 2 nr. Then minus, when theta is 0, this will be 1. So without you stressing yourself, here, as we take the limit as r tends to infinity. If r tends to infinity, this one is 0. This one is under infinity, anything over infinity is 0. So it makes that thing to be equal to 0. So since the integration cannot be less than 0, therefore it is equal to 0. Therefore, integral f of z dz exponential m pi, this is c bigger, m pi z dz tends to 0 as r tends to infinity. So that completes the proof of the Jordan's lemma. So let's take an example on this. We have example here. Show that this is this. So as usual, we turn this to exponential i3z over, but it is real because it's a real part, 1 plus z squared dz, which will be equal to minus r to r, that is if you integrate it in the upper half plane, integral minus r to r, f of z dz, this is our f of z. But don't forget that there is an exponential there, c bigger f of z dz. By Jordan's lemma, this is Jordan's lemma, it will be 0. So we have just proved that exponential I pi n z times f of z will tends to 0 as r tends to infinity. And don't forget that this one too will give me minus infinity to infinity f of x dx, which is minus infinity to infinity. Our f of x dx is cos 3s over 1 plus s cube ds. Our f of x is okay, the real part of this which we have written. Now let us now come back to this place. Now let's consider this I c exponential I3z over 1 plus z square dz. So our f of z is this exponential I3z over 1 plus z square. The singular point, if you turn it to 0, this is z square plus 1 is equal to, it's very easy. Z is equal to plus or minus I. It will give you square root of minus 1, and that is I. So plus or minus I. So are the singular points, but only z is equal to I lies in the upper half plane. So we can now find the residue. And don't forget that z is equal to I is a simple pole. So we make use of residue as simple pole. Z tends to z naught, z minus z, these are z naught times f of z. Our f of z is I3z divided by, don't forget this one is easy to simplify. This is z minus I, z plus I. If you expand it, it will give you this. And that is how we got this one too. This cancels this. I cannot turn my z to I. This will be exponential I3I over I plus I. This is exponential minus 3. I square is minus over 2I. Therefore, my integration is 2 pi I times the residue, or sum of the residue, but we have only one here. This cancels this. 2 cancel 2. So what we have is pi minus 3. So what gives me this is this integral here. At this integral, we have shown that is equal to this. So if you compare both sides, therefore minus infinity to infinity cos 3s over 1 plus s squared ds is equal to pi exponential minus 3. So that is the answer. Another example, we want to evaluate this integral. So solution. So as usual, we know that this will be integral this cos square z over 1 plus z square all square dz, which I said, but this one is cos square, so we need to apply average formula there. We know that cos square z is the same thing as, if you recall, cos square z is the same thing as 1 plus cos 2z, then over 1 plus z squared dz, which I cannot write as re because of this cos 2z re. Let me bring the half here. This half 1 plus exponential I2z or 2iz over 1 plus z squared all squared dz. Without stressing ourselves, this is minus infinity to infinity. You follow what you have been doing. This is f of x dx, the given cos square s over 1 plus s squared, although it is this boundary, but we are dealing with this boundary because we are integrating it in the upper half plane, ds plus c bigger f of z dz, which by Jordan's lemma this will be 0. You have to put it there that by Jordan's lemma The second integral is 0. Now let's consider this one. This is what we are considering. f of z. Anything we get here will be equal to this thing here. F of z is 1 plus exponential I2z or 2iz 1 plus z squared. So in this case, z is equal to plus or minus I at the singular. So, but only z is equal to I lies in the upper. As you can see it. Now, you observe that z is equal to I here is a double pole. Let me write it very well again so that you understand it. This thing is same thing as z plus I, z minus I. This one inside alone, but there is another square. So that is the reason why we got this. So z is equal to I is the only one that lies in the upper half plane and it's a double pole. So I cannot find the residue. If you remember, residue is 1 over n minus 1 factorial. Our n is 2. 2 minus 1 factorial. Limit of z tends to z naught. Our z naught is I. First derivative, because it is 2. You know it is n minus 1. 2 minus 1, that is 1. So first derivative, if it is 3, this will have been 2. Z minus z naught raised to power n, that is the formula. Our n is 2 times f of z. This is our f of z. So this cancels this. This is gone, it's 1. So what we have left is z tends to 1, I. Limit of z tends to I. We are left with differentiation of these two functions. When we differentiate it, it will give me this. As you can see, I have differentiated this. Okay, there's minus here. Now I now put I to the whole thing here. I put I to everything. There's I, so that at the end of the day, you are going to have, if you put I here, 2I plus I is 2I. 2I times 2I is minus 4. I squared is minus 1. That's why we have this. This is minus 2 into 1 plus exponential minus 2 over this. This should not be the answer. When we simplify, it will give me 1 plus 3 exponential minus 2 over 4i. Now, it is this integral that gives me so, and it must be equal to this. So we cannot conclude that this one is equal to the answer that we got here. Okay, before that, we need to use Cauchy residue. So we have only found the residue. Now, let us now continue from that place. By residues theorem, we say that in this place, there is 1 over 2 here. Don't forget, you should not throw it away. You need to come back to this place. 1 over 2, there is re. So we can now move to Cauchy residue theorem. That is 2 pi I times the residue. This is the residue. 1 plus 3, the residue that we got here. 1 plus 3 exponential minus 2 over 4i. This cancels this. Also, this cancels this. So the re is not necessary again because everything is already part already. So that our answer is 1 plus this over 4. So the answer we got here is meant for everything in this place. And everything in this place is same thing as this. We cannot conclude that this one is equal to what we get here. So let's write, written it, but this function is even function. So we can turn it to 2. It is half of the other one. We can turn it to 2 over this. So when we later bring these 2 here, if we divide both sides by 2, this will become 8. So that is the answer. So that is the solution of this integral. So from this place, we stop our class here. We continue in the next video to conclude the topic.